Hello guys, welcome back to 1878 Blues. Um, it's been a while. I haven't fulfilled my promise in doing more videos throughout the summer. Um, I know we still got another month of the summer to go, but I mean in terms of the pre-season, I think I just needed the break, to be honest. Um, you know, last season was a very tough season. Um, I think most of us needed a mental breakaway in a sense. I've still been putting tweets up on my Twitter, um, and I've still been invested. But I just thought I'll take a break from doing some videos. But I'm back now, and I'm looking forward to the new season. I know that sounds mad coming from an Evertonian, but um, I don't know. It's a bit of a strange feeling I have towards the new season. I feel there's a lot of times in pre-season that teams who buy a lot of players or do a lot of things in the transfer window, and it just seems very positive for them, and it doesn't turn out to be that way. Um, and I'm hoping the reverse happens to us, that a lot of us fans don't feel very optimistic. The signings have been a bit, you know, nothing to get you excited about basically. But listen, this is what we might not. This is what we might need to get excited about players, and then them not delivering, um, or the team just altogether not being balanced enough, not playing like a team as well. It's very important that we get a squad together, especially with the 5 substitutions. Um, that's going to be in place next season. So squad depth is very, very important, in any season anyway. And we've found out in the past few seasons we've really struggled with injuries and cover for places on the pitch. And as we all are aware of, we have signed a left back. I forgot his name already, to be honest. It's a Vagny? Vagny? I can't even. Some guy from Sporting Lisbon, anyway. Uh, we've signed him on a left. We've signed him on loan to the end of the season. We had the Ruben Vagny. That's it. I think that's it. I can't say his surname, but apparently he was decent at Wolves. I'm still questioning why he left Wolves to go to Sporting Lisbon, but I'm guessing I'll soon find out. Listen, he's cover for Michalenko, but then it makes you wonder, Niles and Konku, what's going to happen to him? Is he going to be sent out on loan? He's entering the final year of his contract. Or Lampard might be a bit practical with him, a bit, take a risk on him. Maybe he's better at attacking than he is defensively. So you never know. He could get put on a wing in some games, tested out, may keep him for a few months till January, and then see what happens from there. I don't know. Every time I've seen him, I've not really had an issue with him being in the team, perfectly honest. But listen, this is why I'm not a football coach, and I don't see him in training every day. Yeah, so that's one in. Well, we've obviously had James Tarkowski. I don't know if I've done a video about him. I think I have. Very solid addition, as we already know. I feel like we're trying to get to Burnley's X1, first 11. And I'm sounding a bit like Sean Dyche now, the way I'm talking. My throat's a bit tired and sore at this time of night. And yes, it's past 12 o'clock now. So yesterday we announced the signing of Dwight McNeil, which is not much of a surprise, but I was surprised how fast it's always been rumoured. We've been rumoured to a lot of players for a long time, but it was very fast how it went about. we heard the news that we was back in for him and we put an offer in. And then all of a sudden, Dwight McNeil's at Finch Farm getting his medical done and then getting told the next day he will be signing for us, and he signed for us. So listen, I think he can play left and right wing. He could play centre attack and mid as well. I am normally very negative when it comes to player I don't particularly rate, but I'm going to give him a chance, and as we all should do. Listen, the guy's only 22 somehow, feels like he's been around for years. He is 23 in a few months' time, but yeah. His stats last season, that's been headline, to be honest, in terms of the move to Everton, and that's what everyone's been speaking about. It's not great reading when you look at it like that. His chances created is not too bad, but let's just remember he was in a struggling team. He was very good the season before and the season before that. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how it turns out. We could say all day long, well, this is fantastic for Calvert-Lewin, but then how long is Calvert-Lewin going to stay for? And also, Calvert-Lewin isn't, let's be honest, he isn't a top quality striker yet. He could be one day, but he's getting to 25 now. I think he's had one good season, in my eyes, in terms of if you're going to rate him as a very, very top striker or whatever. And you can say the same with Weghorst and Cornet. He didn't do much when them two were in the squad and they're decent enough strikers, you know what I mean? But we just have to see. Listen, I'm going to trust Lampard. I like the way he speaks. He's done, for me, a reasonably good job at the moment with a squad he hasn't invested in. And I'd like to always see someone prove people wrong. And I think Lampard has been heavily scrutinised already, and he's only really started his managerial career in the past few years. So I think he deserves more credit than he gets. I'm hoping he turns things around for Everton, and I believe he wanted McNeil as well. He's been an admirer of him for quite a while. So listen, you just don't know. You just don't know. Players can come out of nowhere. They can have their breakthrough season. Like, we've seen it many times before with other players, and you're like, well, where have they been? You know what I mean? Like, it's mad. Like, the likes of Mo Salah, I'm going to pick, is someone who was very iffing off. He reminds me of Callum Hudson-Odoi at Chelsea right now, just very off and on. And then he moves to Roma, and then he goes to Liverpool, and even at Roma, he just started being Mo Salah, like the proper Mo Salah, and it's wild how changing teams and changing scenarios and whatever for yourself can bring the most of you out of a player. You know what I mean? Like, it can really kickstart your career. So I'm not too against it. The price tag is a bit. Listen, I was 25, 35, I think, as well. We've had offers, we've put in for, or they've been asking for, Burnley, and we haven't got them in the past, and now we've got them for 20 million. When you look at it, it's not the worst signing, but financial crisis. Is it what we need right now? I know we're crying out for central midfielders, and possibly a striker. Well, not possibly, we need one, because we've only really got Calvert-Lewin up front. Salomon Rondon, I don't know what his role is for the season, But yeah, we definitely need another striker. So obviously, there's been rumours, very very intense rumours of us potentially re-signing Idrissa Gana Gay, which is wild, which I thought will never happen, to be honest. And listen, I'm not against it. Um, there's a lot of players out there who's over the age of 33 and still bossing the game, and he's got a tank. He can run all day. It proves that last season he had some outstanding games against the likes of Man City in the Champions League in the semi-final. There's still a player in there. There obviously is. He played over 30 games in all competitions last season for PSG, so he is, a player they have used a lot. You know what I mean? He's been in at nearly every day match day squad. He started a lot of games as well. So, and it's a team like PSG with Messi, Neymar, just full of riches, and they're just a Ghana guy. The player we want to bring back, and people have an issue with, was in a team like PSG, playing consistently as well throughout the seasons he's been there for. So I'm not against it. I think a year or two, and then move on to America or whatever you want to do. I would not say no to that. I think if it was a situation, it's hard to say what we was going to be like if we didn't have a financial crisis, but we are in one at the moment, and I think this is a sensible move for all parties. I think Paris Saint-Germain are going to want full of stars now throughout the whole of the team. And I'm not saying just a Ghana guy isn't, he just hasn't got that star factor about him. And yeah, time to move on for him. So I'll happily take him back. Let's be honest, he's better than anyone we've got in midfield. So yeah. Then there's been very interesting updates on what Barkley's been doing on social media. Ross Barkley used to play for us, and I don't know. One word that comes to me is rat. Of him staying with us for a bit longer and then selling us out for less. I think it was about 20 million we lost out on him. I don't know. It shows how desperate we are in it. It's like if we was a fella or girl, we'd be taking our ex back. That's what it feels like to me. Ross Barkley isn't the same player since he left us. I'm just gonna have to be honest with that. Has he got much left to give? How much is his wages going to be? Is it worth the potential conflict with himself and the fans? I don't know. It leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth. You could always say Wayne Rooney did the same when he kissed the badge, but at that age of naive, he's quite an angry kid. Wayne Rooney back in the day, it still wasn't nice to see that. I don't understand still why he did that, but I don't know. And I don't think he's a player we need. It's again crying for desperation in terms of, this is the only options we can get. We just can't seem to afford anyone without having to sell someone, and I'm hoping the likes of Moyes can, or Keane, however you want to pronounce it, will hopefully complete a transfer to Juventus this window, and we can get a bit of money and start spending wisely. Don't be panicking. This season's going to be a lot different to other seasons. It's going to be a bit more. We're going to have low expectations, obviously. And I don't think we'll be aiming very high. I think we'll be aiming to stabilise ourselves in this league again. Start thinking more about the future instead of the present. Um, and just make sure we're making small changes and not too many big changes at once, because I think that's when we get ourselves caught in a situation we have been in for the past 2, 3, 4 years now. So just gonna have to see. I'm hoping it's gonna be good moments this season. I'm hoping there's not gonna be many moments where I have to worry or stress out. Obviously, I wouldn't mind feeling like that if we was surprisingly fighting for like the top end of the table. That'll be, obviously stress worthy, but you just never know, till ball's kicked, till the team starts playing, till Lampard finally gets his ideas across, till the team feels a lot more compact and balanced, and a few fresh faces can make such a difference. You just never know. On paper, it doesn't look like we're going to do much this season. It's going to be one of them where it's going to be a long season for us, but hopefully not in the way it was last year. We're just going to have to hold out and see. But yeah, ideally, I think we need cover in the centre midfield and maybe an attacking mid, which obviously they think Barkley's going to be, but I don't. I think his time's slowly coming to an end. And a striker, a backup striker, or someone like Emmanuel Dennis is ideal, to be honest. But yeah. Anyway, I'm out anyway. I am going to, for the first time in like 3 years, I think, to Goodison Park to watch a friendly, Everton versus Dynamo Kiev. Looking forward to it. Really am. Going with a few mates who have never been to a football match in their life, so I'm introducing them to my very depressive team to watch at the moment. But yes, very much looking forward to it. Might do a vlog, see how brave I am. And yeah, I'm out. So peace.